It is my honor to welcome you all to this important occasion of the first National Tax Dialogue with the apt theme, Taxation in a Post-Coronavirus Economy. This theme provokes two very important questions in my mind about the practice of governance, which are that A, what to do in order to improve the lives of the citizens, and B, how to do them in the most efficient manner. The issue of what should and must be done to improve the lives of people is the reason we ceaselessly seek the mandate for governance. That is why we have made improving the living conditions of Nigerians the main preoccupation of our team from the inception of our government, and it shall remain the focus of our administration throughout its tenure. Our understanding of the needs of Nigerian citizens and the resolve to meeting those needs resulted to our administration embarking on massive infrastructural projects in railways, roads, electricity, healthcare, education, etc. Our government has continued to pursue all those projects despite massive decline in government revenues occasioned by a combination of factors, among which is the coronavirus pandemic. The devastating effect of coronavirus on the health and economy of the world is evident across every strata of our society. It is obvious to every citizen of this country that our economy is not immune from the global economic downturn. As such, we have had to confront the conflicting situations of reflating the economy and at the same time raising revenue to meet our budgetary needs. It is within the context that the government undertook an expensive budgetary projection of over 13 trillion naira for 2021. For some years now, the government has inevitably resorted to deficit budgeting as a result of declining revenues. As we might expect, this has led to increase in Nigeria's debt profile, which stood at about 32 trillion naira in September last year. This funding gap created by the dwindling government revenue, therefore, underscores the importance of the national tax dialogue we are holding today. Nigeria has a tax to GDP ratio of about 6%. We are still far from reaching our optimal tax revenue generation potential. There is therefore a lot that we can and must do to improve tax revenue receipts. Every Nigerian must see tax payment in its proper context, which is as a solemn and patriotic obligation that is necessary for building a better society. No nation has ever made progress without having to pay for it or make the necessary sacrifice. I therefore call on all Nigerians to be alive to their tax obligations. This government is strategically restructuring the tax revenue mix in favor of indirect taxes in accordance with our national tax policy document. To this end, Federal Inland Revenue Service is mandated to do all that is required in order to efficiently collect tax revenue due from transactions carried out using local and foreign online platforms. The government has made relevant statutory amendment to tax laws in the Finance Act 2020. This administration is, however, not seeking to increase the tax burden upon the citizens, but to plug the existing tax loopholes or leakages and to ensure even and equitable application of the tax laws. This was clearly demonstrated by the provision of the Finance Act 2019, whereby government exempted small companies from tax and reduced the income tax rate for medium companies from 30% to 20%. In the Finance Act 2020, which I signed into law at the tail end of 2020, we went further to cushion the burden of tax on the low-wage workers by exempting minimum wage from personal income tax. We all are now living in a fast digitalizing world. As such, business transactions are continually being migrated from brick and mortar locations to digital places or spaces. It is therefore incumbent upon tax authorities to adopt digital means to efficiently track taxable transactions for the purpose of collecting the tax. In order to provide the necessary legislative framework for the adoption of technology in tax administration, we also made necessary amendments to the FIRS Establishment Act in the Finance Act 2020. It is not enough that our citizens and local businesses pay their fair share of taxes. Equally, foreign businesses must also not be allowed to continue to exploit our markets and economy without paying appropriate taxes. Accordingly, the Federal Inland Revenue Service has my mandate to speedily put all measures in place to fully implement programs to stamp out base erosion and profit shifting in all their ramifications and generally automate its tax processes. In line with this, I have directed all government agencies and businesses enterprises to grant Federal Inland Revenue Services access to their systems for seamless connections. You must ensure that its deployment of technology for automation is done in line with international best practices. In particular, FIRS can borrow a leaf from other countries which have successfully automated their tax processes. Nigeria shall continue to work with the inclusive framework on equal footing to develop internationally acceptable rules for taxation of the digital economy. I am hoping that the inclusive framework would have evolved into an acceptable multilateral solution that will comprehensively address the tax challenges of the digitalized economy by the middle of 2021. Pending the agreement of the rules of the inclusive framework the significant economic presence rules shall continue in operation. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a limit to what an individual or small group of people can conceive by way of ideas. However, the larger society is the ultimate repository of knowledge and the driver of inspiration. On this note, I invite you all to avail the government of your insights and wisdom at this National Tax Dialogue. It is my pleasure to declare this maiden edition of the National Tax Dialogue open. Happy deliberations. God bless all and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.